here is Warren Buffett. Now, I don't know. Everybody loves to quote Warren Buffett. You see, like the Warren Buffett, they make up quotes and then send it to email, right? Haven't you gotten that? Haven't you gotten that from your folks, probably, Matt? Right?
Be the change you want to see in the world,
right.
Warren Buffett.
Right. They keep sending That's on the right. There's like so many of these. They basically, some conservative writes up something like, "You should pick up yourself by your bootstraps," and then they just say like, Bill Gates or Warren
Bell
Buffett.
Curve was a great book.
Taxation
Warren
is
Buffett.
theft.
So-
Martin Luther King. Taxation is theft. Read the bell curve. It's numbers.
Look, Warren Buffett seems smart, and he was very careful about raising his children so that they didn't have access to his wealth, supposedly. Which
How exactly does that work?
well, I mean,
He's
I
like
think
cattle prods around
well,
his
he's
kids.
got a
They
lot
can't-
of wealth, and so it's
He has
just a
quite a
question
bit,
of how much of it. But so I'm not 100% sure really why we care what Warren Buffett has to say, but some people do, and we'll take it where we can get it. But with his limited knowledge, this is what his perspective is on healthcare.
Something that affects all businesses is the cost of health care in this country, and you've been vocal about that. You've argued that right now, I mean, in effect, that the cost of paying for health care...
Pause it for 1 second. Now, they seem to be in a furniture store in a mall.
Classic Buffett.
Classic Buffett. Let's move. Let's do this in a mall. I'm checking out my businesses. But I mean, I think, the idea is that from a business perspective, and of course, if we end up getting single payer in this country, we're going to have buy-in from businesses. And we heard this a lot 10 years ago, I feel like, that every car that GM makes, $2,300 of it is healthcare. Here's Buffett explaining from a business perspective why single payer might be a better thing.
Health care can affect a company even more than taxes.
Well, it does. I mean, in terms of our competitiveness in the world, health care in 1960 was 5% of GDP, and there's only 100 cents in the dollar. So it's gone from 5% to 17%, and it keeps going up. Corporate taxes have gone down from 4% to 2%. So corporate taxes are way less of a factor in American competitiveness than I'm talking about overall business, than medical costs.
And as we sit here today in Omaha, the Republicans in Congress are madly trying to figure out what to do to replace Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. Do you have a firm idea in your mind of what ought to be done about Obamacare? Everybody acknowledges there have been some problems with it.
I think that's way outside of my circle of competence. But I would say this: you can't have that 5 go to 17 and move on to 20 and 22 or 24%, because there are only 100 cents in the dollar, and healthcare is gobbling up well over $3 trillion a year. It's just about the same as the federal budget. I mean, it's getting up there.
Are we now at the point where the country does need to think about some sort of single-payer system in some form or another?
With my limited knowledge, I think that probably is the best system, because it is a system. We are such a rich country. In a sense, we can afford to do it. But in almost every field of American business, it pays to bring down costs. There's an awful lot of people involved in the medical, just the way the ecosystem works, that there's no incentive to bring down costs.
And it sounds like you're saying with a single-payer system, it'd be easier to figure out a way to get those costs down.
It'd be more effective, I think.
There you go. For what it's worth, there's Warren Buffett proposing it. And there are a lot of people who think he's some type of god, I guess investors try and shadow him.
Sage of Omaha.
Oracle, I think
the
they call him.
Oracle of Omaha.
Oracle, Sage, Yoda, whatever it is. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos